Leo was a little boy with bright, twinkling eyes who loved adventures. On a sunny afternoon, his mother took him to the park, where he brought along his most prized possession, a big, shiny red balloon. The balloon was the color of ripe strawberries and seemed to glow in the sunlight. Leo loved how it danced and bobbed above his head, tethered safely to his small, sweaty hand. As he skipped along the paths among the trees, Leo noticed how the balloon wanted to go higher and higher, like it dreamt of touching the clouds. He chuckled, thinking how it must love flying as much as he loved running through the grass. The park was filled with the sounds of laughter and chatter, but in Leo's world, all he could hear was the playful whisper of the breeze and the rustling leaves that seemed to giggle along with him. Suddenly, a gentle tug on the string captured Leo's attention. He watched in surprise as a mischievous gust of wind snatched the string from his hand. His heart leaped into his throat as he saw the balloon begin its ascent into the sky. For a moment, he stood there, frozen, watching his beloved balloon become a speck in the vast blue sky. Feeling a mix of excitement and worry, Leo chased after it, hoping to catch it before it drifted too far away. An elderly man feeding the pigeons nearby noticed Leo and called out, "Don't worry, young lad. Sometimes balloons want to explore on their own." Leo paused, breathing heavily, and looked up at the floating balloon with new eyes. Perhaps the balloon did want an adventure of its own. He imagined the balloon meeting birds, soaring over treetops, and maybe even making friends with the fluffy clouds. Leo waved at his balloon and shouted, "Have fun on your journey." With a newfound understanding, Leo walked back to his mother, who wrapped him in a comforting hug. "It's okay, Leo. We can always get another one," she said softly. But Leo knew that even though another balloon would float just as beautifully, none would have an adventure quite like his red balloon. And that made him smile all the way home. And so, every time Leo went back to the park, he looked towards the sky, wondering where his balloon was and hoping it was having the happiest of adventures. On a bright sunny day in the charming town of Breezyville, little Timmy held a colorful balloon. He had just gotten it from the joyful fair that had come to town. Timmy loved that balloon. It was sky blue with little white clouds printed all over it, just like the sky above. Timmy wore his red cap and his favorite overalls as he trotted down the street whistling a happy tune. The town was bustling, with children playing and birds chirping. As he walked, he imagined the adventures he and his balloon would go on, a sky-high voyage where they'd meet talking birds and fluffy cloud creatures. Suddenly, as Timmy reached the park, something unexpected happened. A big gust of wind came sweeping through the town, rustling the leaves and making the branches sway. Timmy, caught off guard, felt the delicate string slip through his fingers. "Oh no," he exclaimed, watching in shock as the balloon soared up, up and away. The balloon danced among the treetops, carried effortlessly by the mischievous wind. Timmy tried running after it, his little legs moving as fast as they could, but the balloon had embarked on an adventure of its own. Seeing the sadness on Timmy's face, his friends in the park quickly gathered around him. "Don't be sad, Timmy," said his friend Lucy, always cheerful and full of ideas. "Let's have our own adventure and see if we can catch it." With a newfound determination, Timmy and his friends set off, their eyes glued to the sky, giggling and pointing as the balloon floated over the playground, past the old oak tree, and towards the river. Timmy's heart skipped a beat when he saw the balloon was caught for a moment by the ancient branches of the friendly oak. "Let's make a wish," suggested Benny, his imaginative buddy. They all closed their eyes, made a wish, and hoped for the best. Though they couldn't catch it, they smiled, imagining the balloon traveling over distant lands. The adventure taught Timmy and his friends that losing something doesn't always mean it's gone completely. Sometimes it just makes room for new surprises and dreams. Once upon a time in a sunny park filled with laughter and play, there lived a curious young boy named Leo. Leo had a special red balloon, and it was his favorite thing in the whole wide world. The balloon seemed to float with happiness, tied securely to Leo's wrist wherever he went. One breezy afternoon, as Leo played tag with his friends, he suddenly stopped and looked at his wrist in horror. His balloon was missing. Where could it have possibly gone? His heart pounded, but he decided he wouldn't give up. He was determined to find his beloved balloon. Leo began his quest in the park, running to the nearest bird, a wise old robin perched on a branch. "Have you seen my balloon?" Leo asked, eyes wide with hope. The robin shook her feathers and chirped, "Tweet, tweet, no balloons here, but maybe the swaying trees know." With renewed eagerness, Leo dashed up to the tall oak trees, rustling softly in the gentle breeze. "Oh, mighty trees, have you seen my balloon?" he pleaded. The trees whispered among themselves, their leaves rustling before one mighty branch pointed towards the bustling playground. Next, Leo trotted over to a group of playful squirrels who were busy gathering acorns. "Dear squirrels, have you seen my balloon?" he questioned in a whisper, afraid to scare them. "Chatter, chatter, not us," replied the squirrels, nibbling away, "but follow the wind's song. It might lead you." Listening carefully to the whisper of the wind, Leo followed its gentle pull, running across the park until he reached the little pond where a group of ducks quietly paddled. "Have you seen my balloon?" he called to them. The ducks quacked loudly, paddling closer. "Quack, quack, behind the big bush," they signaled. And there it was, caught gently by the twigs of a large bush, its ribbon tugging softly to the rhythm of the wind. His red balloon. Leo's face broke into a wide grin as he carefully untangled the ribbon, hugging the balloon close. "Thank you," he shouted gratefully to all his newfound friends. Leo tied the balloon securely to his wrist, making sure it was safe, and waved at the friendly animals before racing back to play. After all, what's a day in the park without a little adventure? Leo, the little lion cub, was playing in the meadow with his favorite toy, a bright red balloon. He would toss it up into the air and watch it dance with the sunbeams. But one day, a gust of wind carried the balloon away, with poor Leo chasing after it. "Oh no, my balloon!" cried Leo, watching it float high into the sky. Just when he thought all was lost, a kind butterfly fluttered by, her wings shimmering in the sunlight. "Don't worry, little lion," she chirped warmly. "Follow me, and I'll help you find your balloon." With a glimmer of hope, Leo followed the butterfly as she weaved through the grass and over the flowers. The butterfly led Leo through the meadow, pointing out the wonders along the way. "Look at the daisies, how they dance in the breeze," she exclaimed, twirling around a patch of white petals. They reached a bubbling brook where the water sparkled like diamonds. "Jump across with me," the butterfly called, showing Leo a safe path along the stepping stones. As Leo leaped, he felt a little braver with each hop. Finally, they arrived at the edge of the meadow, where a tall, ancient tree stood proudly. "Your balloon is just up there," said the butterfly, fluttering up towards the branches. High above, Leo could see a flash of red tangled among the leaves. "But it's too high," he lamented, worried about how he would ever reach it. The butterfly nodded thoughtfully. "I have a plan." She danced around Leo, encouraging him to climb. "Start here." She pointed to the base of the tree. Leo, feeling hopeful once more, dug his claws gently into the bark and began to climb. As he climbed higher and higher, the butterfly stayed beside him, guiding him carefully. "You're doing it step by step," she encouraged. With one last push, Leo reached the branch where his balloon was caught. Carefully, he tugged it free with a delighted roar. Thank you, butterfly," cheered Leo. The butterfly fluttered around him in a happy dance. "Anytime you need a friend to help, just look for me," she giggled before flying off into the sky. Leo climbed down with his balloon, feeling very happy. He had not only found his precious balloon, but had made a wonderful new friend too. And from that day, Leo learned that with a little help, he could do anything he put his mind to. In a lush, colorful meadow filled with the scent of wildflowers and the joyous hum of nature, lived a cheerful young rabbit named Leo. Leo was known for his love of balloons. His favorite was a bright, red balloon, which he took everywhere he went. One sunny day, Leo decided to take his balloon for a little adventure in the meadows. As Leo hopped along merrily, he marveled at the wide open sky and the fluffy clouds that looked like cotton candy. Suddenly, a gentle breeze swept by and, oh no, the string slipped from Leo's paws and his beloved balloon began to drift away. Leo watched in dismay as the balloon floated higher and higher. "Oh dear," he said, his long ears drooping. Just as he was about to give up hope, a kind-hearted butterfly named Bella fluttered by. Seeing Leo's sad face, she asked, "What's wrong, Leo?" Leo explained his predicament, and Bella, with a determined glint in her eye, promised to help. She flapped her delicate wings and soared into the sky, following the red balloon as it danced with the wind. The balloon bobbed and weaved through the clouds, but Bella was nimble and quick. She gently nudged the balloon with her tiny wings, guiding it back down towards the meadow. Meanwhile, Leo watched from below, cheering Bella on with every little bounce. After what seemed like forever, but was really just a few minutes, the wind finally helped Bella as the balloon began to descend. The gentle breeze cooperated perfectly, and with Bella's careful guidance, the balloon floated gracefully down towards Leo. Leo reached up with a glimmer in his eyes and caught the balloon with a big, relieved smile. "Thank you, butterfly," he exclaimed, holding onto the string with a firm grip, ensuring his beloved balloon would stay with him this time. Bella waved goodbye, knowing her job was done, while Leo hopped around joyously, his red balloon safely bobbing above him once more. And so, in the meadow where the adventures never end, Leo learned that friends, like balloons, could lift you back up when you feel down. Indeed, it was a happy ending in the wonderful world of the meadow.